Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. We're sitting on a hillside above a little village called Tala, and the view is quite simply spectacular. You look down over the rooftops and the treetops of Lower Tala, Clorica, Ember and Casonaga, and of course out into the blue Mediterranean Sea. Would you like to see that view again? Here we go. Let's spin the little camera around. Feast your eyes and digest. So this is the amphitheatre of Tala. There's a little cafeteria up here. Legend has it that it serves quite a nice hot latte or perhaps something a little bit stronger. Big car park for you to park up, perhaps while you're on your adventure up to one of the monasteries, or perhaps hunting for a rental property or even a property to buy. Perhaps you're considering to reside in Tala, and it is a great place. Tala, if you're curious to know, is literally 10 minutes from the centre of Paphos, hence why it is hugely popular with people looking to rent a property, whether it be for holiday or perhaps for a longer term, or perhaps even to buy a property. Perhaps to start off as a holiday home, with the future thinking for it to be that permanent home for the rest of your life. Some of the services that we can offer: help and advice. Many people are dreaming of coming to live in Cyprus. Many people have done it, and not many have regretted it. And of course, many people are dreaming of it, as I've said, but perhaps they're a little bit unsure. They've been on a holiday once or twice, or perhaps an awful lot more. But going on a holiday and actually going to live somewhere are not quite the same. You've got to familiarise yourself with the area. And that's some of the services that myself and Marika can offer. Obviously, I can speak to you through the medium of English. Marika can speak to you through the medium of English, Russian, Armenian, Georgian, Ukrainian, and of course, on top of all that, she speaks fluent Greek. So we could be that perfect pair that can help you to find that perfect rental property, that rental car, that car you'd like to buy, or that property that you'd like to buy. We can point you in the right directions, and of course, no misunderstandings. Greek and English, very simple indeed. And I think these are some of the things that stop many people from taking that final step. We all dream about it, but something stops us. And I think that something that stops us is that little bit of a language barrier. We all understand that most of the people who reside in Cyprus do have a very good command of English. But when you're going to speak to a lawyer, an agent, whether it be a rental agent or a property sales agent, sometimes little bits and bobs are lost in the translation. Now, I'm a British person, so to be honest, that's my fault because I can't speak Greek. It's not the person that I'm talking to's fault. But of course, most of us British people are, shall we say, rather lazy when it comes to languages. So that's the gift of Marika, fluent Greek speaker. Imagine if you go to view a property, you would know that by your side is a fluent Greek speaker that's working on your behalf, listening to what's been said. So anything that's not quite, shall we say, explained correctly, she can pick up on that fact and translate that straight into your language. So you could rest assured that if you choose to rent a car, buy her ourselves, rent a property, consider to buy a property, we will have you in our hands, and you will be in safe hands. And there's many people who will testify to that fact. We have a client list that are renting properties and buying properties in Cyprus. If you want to speak to some of those people, get in contact with us, and they will tell you just how smooth the process was. Now, immigration to Cyprus. The man in the pub tells you that it can't be done. That's not quite true. As long as you've got a little bit of money, not a huge amount of money, but you are going to need around about, I always round it up, so you're going to need around about 30,000 euros, which is around about £25,000. If you've got that kind of money, you will be able to relocate to Cyprus and have a fantastic life. And you can go through the immigration process because you've got enough money to sustain your lifestyle. And that's what the Cyprus government wants to know. So if you have got enough money, you can come and reside in Cyprus and start the next chapter in your life. And I promise you, it will be a fabulous, fabulous chapter indeed. Let me have a quick slurp on my nice hot latte from my mates at Atlas Coffee. Absolutely delicious. So, back to immigration, the immigration process. It's not complicated, but at the same time it is complicated. The reason for that, of course, is because it's not in our mother tongue. All the paperwork is in Greek, and of course the people you communicate with are speaking in Greek. Many speak a good command of English, but again, little bits can be lost in the translation, and perhaps you're not quite clear with some of the paperwork that you have to take to the various offices. And again, it can't be done all in one office. If you are going down the immigration process, somebody will have to make 2 to 3 visits to Nicosia with various bits of paperwork with your name on it. Now, you can choose to do that, or you can choose to pay someone else to do it. And that's normally how the process goes. Now, most immigration lawyers will say that it kicks off at around about 500 euros. So many people might think that that's all it costs. That's not quite true. That's what it kicks off at, around about 500 euros. By the time the people have been up and down to all the various departments, got all those paperworks in order, the various stamps and the costs involved and the charges, I think you get the picture. Very, very rapidly, it's going to approach somewhere around 2 to 2,500 euros. And remember, I'm talking in euros. But remember, you only have to do this once. Once you've been approved, then you will receive a 1-year residency permit. Next year, you will reapply. But of course, all of the major costs have been taken care of. All you're doing now is having 1 or 2 bits of paper re-stamped and proving your income again. And that process goes on year after year for 5 years. And at 5 years, you will be given a 5-year residency permit. That's 10 years. That's a long, long time. And that's a long time for you to lap up the sunshine, perhaps learn how to smoke a little boy cigar, find out where the best hot lattes are, or wherever your tipple may be when you come to live on the island of love. Now, I was talking to a gentleman last night who's made that decision to come and live in Cyprus, in Paphos in particular. He's sold up in the UK, got himself on a big bird and touched down in Paphos. We've rented him a car. We're going to help him to secure a property to rent, and that will give him a 12-month contract which will allow him to start his process on the long-term living plan that he has in Cyprus. You have to have a 12-month rental agreement in order to start the process of immigration. It'll go as smooth as clockwork, and in a few months' time he will receive what's referred to as his yellow slip, which will give him temporary residence in Cyprus for 12 months. As I said earlier, that will be renewed on an annual basis, and he is going to have the time of his life. And on top of all of that, a much, much better standard of living, and he's going to save money as well. Why? Cost of living in Cyprus is lower than the cost of living in the UK, and of course the tax is a lot lower than it is in the UK. Hence, the man will have a fabulous, fabulous time, a great chapter in his life, and end up with a little bit more money in his bank account. If you'd like more information about immigration, about renting cars, renting properties, buying properties, whatever that topic may be, drop in the comments and I'll do my very, very best to make a little episode just for you. I'm going to say those magic words. I've got a little boy cigar, and of course I've got a lighter. So here we go. And I promise you, life is good on the island of love. All that's missing is you. So come on, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe, and you could be waltzing around the Tala Amphitheatre, feasting your eyes and digesting upon a bus that's parked in the car park, and of course over the rooftops and those treetops, a view of the blue Mediterranean Sea. Massive, massive thank you for watching, by the way. I do appreciate it, each and every one of you that comes back and drops it in the comments, and we look forward to meeting you very, very soon indeed. If there's any help and advice that you want, our contact details are in the description of this video. Please feel free to make contact, and we will help you make your dream become a reality. Cheers guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.